Today is Thursday, July 4th, and we are watching the tropics, especially for any potential impacts here in Texas. Right now, Hurricane Beryl is a Category 3 hurricane that's still considered a major hurricane with max sustained winds of 120 miles per hour and wind gusts of 150 miles per hour, and it is 50 miles southwest of Grand Cayman. This will continue to move towards the northwest at about 20 miles per hour as it weakens. Now, this already making history. It was a Category 5 earlier in the week, making it the strongest hurricane in the Atlantic Basin on record during the month of June and July. Now, as far as any watches and warnings go, the Cayman Islands still under a hurricane warning. Now, the Yucatan Peninsula, anywhere along the western edge, now included in a tropical storm warning, but the eastern edge under those hurricane warnings, that includes areas like Tulum and Cancun as they brace for major impact. Now, this is going to continue to work its way towards the west. It will weaken because it runs into wind shear, eventually making landfall likely as a Category 1 hurricane just to the south of Tulum late tonight into early Friday. As it moves over land, it will weaken to tropical storm status, eventually on the other side of the peninsula, making it into the Gulf very early Saturday. Now, Saturday into Sunday, this will continue its trek towards the northwest. And as this happens, it could gain strength as it's tapping into some warm waters in the Gulf. This means that whenever it makes landfall for the third time somewhere along the Mexican-Texas border, we could see this strengthen to a Category 1 hurricane. The timing for this would be late Sunday into very early Monday. That timing could also change. Now, as far as exact landfall, it could be anywhere within this cone of uncertainty. So that's something that we're watching either way, that is providing for some heavy rainfall in South Texas. So again, we're going to see this shift, and it's all going to depend on what happens once this thing makes it into the Gulf. Here's a few model outputs. Our spaghetti plots show this. Every different line means a new model or a different model. Models are in good agreement of Beryl making landfall somewhere along the Yucatan Peninsula, but once it moves into the Gulf, that's where models start to disagree a little bit. For the most part, in good agreement that landfall could be somewhere along the South Texas coastline or northern Mexican coastline. A couple models have it coming a bit more towards the north, so we're going to go with the general consensus really for areas in far South Texas. Either way, this thing is going to weaken as it makes landfall, but it is going to be a big rain producer for South Texas. 4 to 7+ inches of rain possible. A bit more north along that Texas coastline, 2 to 4 inches of rain will be possible. And inland, we'll see less impacts, anywhere between 1 to 2 as we approach central Texas. Of course, we'll have to keep watching this, especially into the weekend. As Beryl makes it into the Gulf, we'll get better data and we'll get a better idea of what this will do as we head into early next week.